let's articulate the points you've made so far, the story so far. You fell in love with camera at a very young age. You followed it up. You went through some, you went into television, not TV per se, but at least you had a stint with it.
No, at least my career in television, at least, is not less than 10 years. And even then, after becoming an independent filmmaker, I still have contract because I work with BBC World Service and work with 4 correspondents, foreign correspondents. And that's another span of about 8 years. And I work with, of course, I did short materials for Reuters news agency. And in-house here in this NTA, when John Chairman was the head of news. And by the way, when I came into the NBC TV Channel 10, and there at that time, the Olasope brother, the Abiola Olasope was in the newsroom, and Alhaji Sakafapo was there, and Diraji Dedidun was there, and our uncle Segun Olusola was the general manager, and Auntie Julie Coker was here, Mike Enaro was here, and Uncle Dukwe Atalade was here, and my great friend, the late Yinka Craig, was here, and that's why this place was bubbling, and it was more or less like Ibadan. But first, before you became a established broadcaster or become anything in either entertainment industry or in the academics or in music, you must have come to Ibadan first. Ibadan, where is everything happened. So everybody migrated to Ibadan and became very, very good at what you are doing because you had the best brains in Africa, who mentored you, and you have access to the equipment and the atmosphere. Even me, I wanted to act seriously. And I remember I attended an audition when Martin Merriam, they were doing Odu themes in Ibadan. And I auditioned and they took me in, but of course, I knew I could never have the time because I was traveling all the time because of my
different
my demands as a film cameraman. So I came from Ibadan, and the art was very thriving, and at that time Lagos was bubbling. You went, from Bikomba, you went to Take Two, from Take Two, Paradiso, from Paradiso to Gondola, from Gondola to, you were just crawling, at night, and great music was coming at you, from every direction, so,
Do you feel anything special when you hold the camera? Because you seem to, like, I don't know, maybe your wife probably may complain that you probably love the camera more than you love her.
No. You realize that my training in London Film School did not emphasize...
You romance the camera.
No. My training at the London Film School did not emphasize the camera. In fact, I didn't disclose that I had anything to do with the camera because the purpose of the course, the art and technique of filmmaking, was to become a filmmaker. And the camera is just very short from the process of making a film.
What would you say are your landmark achievements?
My achievement is that throughout time and my mentorship, today I've been able to have a collection of works I've done within the last 20 years, from Tioluwanile to the current film, Dazzling Mirage. And that work is accessible. It's been studied. It is there. We have recovered it from technology to technology. And people, if we celebrate anything at all, we should be celebrating 20 years of Tioluwanile this year. Because I knew people who have written their dissertation on the works. And till end of time, I hope people will start to add value to the work. That is my landmark.
Now, I want to ask this question. Yes, you have dabbled from camera to...
I didn't dabble.
Okay.
I've evolved. It's a progression.
You ventured into it.
It's just when you venture into something, you can leave it. No.
And you're not leaving it forever.
No, it's not possible.
Do you part?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I get that for the record. Now you went into...
Look, I'm not going to die now. See, don't mention death. I beg you. I beg you. I beg you. Don't mention it.
Okay, I won't mention
I
it.
hope I won't die now. You know,
You will
understand?
not die. We won't let you die. We'll keep praying on. We'll go on our knees and make sure that you don't die.
On Saturday night,
Yes, I'm already on my knees.
you are not.
Okay, God, please keep him alive.
Keep all of us alive.
Keep all of us alive.
And keep our dreams
You're a very religious person as well.
I'm not very religious.
You're very prayerful.
I'm prayerful.
Good. Okay,
Yes.
we'll take it like that.
Because I don't like the prayer of this miracle thing. You understand?
Okay.
You know, if I were a Christian, I would stick with Christianity of the cross.
If you were a Christian?
Yes.
So you're not a Christian?
I'm not a Christian.
What are you?
I'm a Muslim.
You're a Muslim,
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to ask this question. You acquired knowledge over time, and you now pitch your tent with filmmaking.
Still
acquiring knowledge. And you pitch your tent with filmmaking.
Filmmaking
When did
and
you start
emerging media. You understand?
Okay, it's as if we're in a lecture class now.
No, I told you, we are learning from each other.
Yes. When did you make your first movie? Your first film?
You see, it's very difficult. Sometimes I don't call things mine, you know, because it's essentially a collaborative art.
Okay.
I've gathered expertise to mold all of
tell
us
a story.
together to achieve this goal, this thing. So
when did you start? Which was your
see,
first?
That's the point. All my life, you know, because I worked throughout the 80s on other people's movies, and I have collaborated with other people. I've taken over their projects. So it's difficult to say when it's mine. I don't know where to take it, either from Iwa or take it from when I started to really produce for mainframe productions. In that case, it would be from Tioluwanile to Dazzling Mirage.
Okay. So what are usually your angles when you're making a movie? What do you set out to achieve? Yes, a lot of people might look at it from the monetary perspective. Some look at it from the creative perspective. Some are like very idealistic. What's your own turf? What exactly do you push out with your films?
When I make a film, I have a story that I want to share with the whole world. And I've decided, or I've chosen the medium of film to tell this story. And for me, the urge and the inspiration to make the film, it certainly doesn't start with money. But it starts with, you know, if you classify the films, you realize that I've done more adaptation from literature than anybody else. It starts with my love for books and reading.
Okay.
And the writers, for me, they have inspired me more than anything else, because I don't know how they imagine these things. So, you know, I have just taken something, aspects of literature, an idea, a thought, and then shared this thing with people. You know, so basically, I think it has to do with a need for expression.
Okay, now let's zero in on Dazzling Mirage. That's your latest movie.
That's right.
What is it about?
Well, it's simply enough, it's entertainment. It's entertaining, and it's a love story, but it has this theme of sickle cell. You know, and it's a story of this girl who lives with sickle cell condition, and she suffers everything associated with this disorder. And I'm alarmed, sometimes I'm ashamed, that Nigeria is the epicenter of sickle cell disorder. And they are experts. I'm not an expert at it, but from what I have gathered from the experts, there are 40 million carriers of the sickle cell trait in Nigeria. And every year, 150,000 children will be born with that disorder. So, why are we not shouting? Why are we not making the awareness? As we came into NTA, there should be something to say something about sickle cell disorder, you know. So we have narrowed the whole film into like a campaign that will be sickle smart. And that is, you must know your genotype, and you must go for genetic counseling. And that will give people the option of informed choices. Any choice they make about sickle cell, then they'll be doing so from informed opinion, perspective. And this is something we need to shout. We need to spread the information, and so on. The attitude of government is, as you know, I understand that the federal government thinks, or their policy is that sickle cell disorder is not a priority. It's not communicable disease. Therefore, it's enough. So we need people, the whole populace, to help ourselves. We need to maybe contribute to centers, to associations, and so on. I think that this film will be able to achieve that.
Okay, now we're gradually rounding off. Time is usually,
and I'm
very
enjoying your
short.
company. I wish we could.
Go on forever.
I'm not toasting you.
Feeling. No, I know. I know. Now, you have done so much for entertainment. You've done so much, in enlightenment, and your name still remains Tunde Kelani. When people mention that name, what do you want them to remember you for?
Well, that's a big question, because
Very big,
it's not
for
me.
a big man like you.
No, small me. No, I just, well, perhaps they will recognize that. For me, I'm happy that since when I was young, this is the only thing I wanted to do, and even managed to learn more than this. And God gave me the opportunities to encounter great people who have mentored me and laid the foundation, who have invested in me. And I just wish, my wish is that forget about me. I'm concerned, about university students not being in school. The university is under lock and key. They would have lost people like me, So I think we should all invest in don't think about me. Just open the universities, take the whole money we have, throw it into education, and you produce people like Tunde Kelani and other people.
Is there anything else you want to be remembered for?
When you say that, you are putting a finality to me. No, I refuse to answer that question. I don't want to be remembered for anything because I'm not ready to go now. So no, not that.
Oh my goodness.
We could have dinner together somewhere. I'm sorry, I didn't even ask if you are married or not. I'm sorry.
You're a very good toaster.
No, I will come. I will play my part. I will go away. Other people will continue, and so on. So, if I'm a reference.
Is there anything you set out in life to achieve that you haven't achieved?
I want money. Plenty of it, so I could achieve more. So I could take people under my wings. I need houses. I need a house. I need land. I need money.
You want to join them, eh?
No, small one. No, I thank God. I mean, I'm happy that I even passed through these premises, where the memories of the great people I passed through are still fresh in my head. And I'm really grateful to them. And I thank Vincent Dele Maduka, who believed in me. Because what he did, was to assist me to make NTA sponsor 1 year of my 2-year training at the London Film School, when everybody didn't take interest.
Now, you've been toasting me all this while. You've been toasting me.
Sure, you go agree.
I won't answer that question. Who answered that question? Now, you're married.
Yes, I'm married.
How many wives do you have?
I don't discuss my private life in Saturday.
So that I will know where I will stand if I want to marry.
Pray for me.
No, if I want to join the line of wives.
I'm not polygamous.
You're not polygamous.
No,
so it means you have one wife.
Yes, I do. At a time.
Whoa.
Whoa.
So you had several at a time. You've had one severally at a time.
Yes.
That's interesting. So how do you balance your...
I have to deal with only one at a time.
Would you say maybe the job itself has also accounted for why it has always been one at a time, several times?
The job makes me an irresponsible family man. Please, don't recommend this lifestyle to anybody because it's essentially very selfish. And here I have to acknowledge the support and the contribution of my immediate family, the wife and the children, my friends, close friends, associates, collaborators, who have to tolerate this kind of a lifestyle while you are traveling all the time, where they have to sacrifice along with you. The children who were never driven to school in a car in their life, you know, who have to trek back and forth from school and so on, who have to live in the studio for 10 years, you know, of their, you know, life. You know, so, and great friends who gave me things. When I fell down, they put me up again. Great people.
So how many kids do you have?
Biologically, 3.
3 kids. Wow.
And you know, I started to have them when I was later in life. My first daughter was born when I was 40. And the children now, they're still in university.
And your second is?
Second year.
Your second is?
Second year university. Second
and your
year
third?
University. Yeah, you know, just university. None is married, you know. And so I'm not a Baba Agba yet. I'm not a grandfather yet.
At 65?
At 65.
So you sacrificed your life for your career?
I enjoyed every moment, not the camera, for
your career?
The arts, you know, because filmmaking it embraces all the arts, and you have to be good at about 3 of them. At least you have to have ear for some you have to take part in it, you know, and so on. Design is important. You can't be a photographer without designing, you know what I mean, you know. So
do you have any regrets?
My only regret is I could have done more if I had the opportunity and the chance, because apparently I just didn't drop from the sky. God put me in this place to see these things and to share with the whole world, you know. And I'm one of those people who pay attention to my environment and care about the trees, water, streams, hill, the seasons, you know, and everything. And
would you have done anything differently if you're given another opportunity to live life all over again?
I don't know. I think I'll be stupid again to just do the same thing and do it better, you know, and so on. You know, so, and I had alternatives on the way, because I almost as passionate in IT as I am in filmmaking, and of course I use that aspect of technology to support the filmmaking. You know, so if I wasn't making film, I would be programming servers, doing Oracle stuff, and these things.
How do you deal with the women
luckily,
that comes along?
Luckily, I'm not a fine guy, you know, so it is after all of them, whatever is left over, you know, I do. I'm not in competition. In any case, let me tell you, the rival that anybody who has seen me has is my work is a rival. You know, so I was very bad at dates. You know, if I told you, hey, TW, I'll see you on Friday evening, chances are that I would have traveled on a film shoot or an assignment or something. So I never kept dates. So nobody took me really seriously. And once you know me, you know, this guy is a savvy guy. He thinks of his work first. He thinks of his profession first and so on. You know, it happens to all of us in the entertainment industry, particularly in the press, in television, you know, and in films.
Well, let's say, I don't know what to say really. Now I'm short of words. Short of words in the sense that you have been very open on a lot of things. You have been very, very, very truthful and human in your expression of your life. And for that we say thank you for that opportunity.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed myself, I can assure you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. And so viewers, on that note, we say thank you for staying tuned to this week's episode of Saturday Night. Until next week, like I always say, be kind to one another. Good night.